Welcome to WTF. My name is Brett Sinclair. Have to admit, I'm really excited to be talking about cloud. It's one of my favorite topics. And with me today is Christian Hagner. Christian, how are you doing, pal?
Not too bad. How's it going, guys?
I think they're alive. Well, you better be alive. I tell you what, you're smashing record views for us. Just to let you know, we've posted 5 videos on WTF. We are over the 6,000 view mark in literally 3 days. So
People
thank you very much.
Listening to what you have to say.
I can't believe it either.
Cool.
It must be my great looks. Why are you laughing?
Or your great guests.
Oh, it's my great guest. It must be that. So, Christian, we're going to talk about the 6 elements that you wrote in your article.
Sure.
And I have to admit, you're brave, man. You put yourself out there. I think in your opening line, you literally go after the CTOs and CIOs who are terrified to change.
Yeah, they stuck in a mindset. You know, they're surrounded by IT vendors and partners who are working in a traditional way. They've got traditional revenue streams, and they don't want to disrupt it, for lack of a better word.
It's crazy, right? So cloud, there's this mystic, and I think your first point, if I got it right, was private cloud is a huge effort.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
Yes.
I hear it the whole time from
absolutely,
IT guys.
Absolutely. So look, the infrastructure is one thing. It's actually setting up all the elements that actually provide the cloud capabilities, which is, you know, multi-tenancy. It is billing per instance. It is the portals. A lot of people have invested huge amounts of money in
And
these
that's
platforms.
the vendors, right?
Absolutely.
Local vendors and public.
And local vendors, public vendors, and all the partners.
Okay.
That the
So
guys
that's
are
where
doing.
all the effort is in building these things.
The problem is, once you've got these huge expansive portals and whatnot, usually the skills to get the automation going is not there. So they're falling back on manual processes. And yeah, so they're realizing it's big, it's expensive, you can't get the cloud-based economies out of it, huge capital outlay to put the stuff down and then to get it up and running. And at the end of the day, you're still basically buying a fancy virtualized solution in a pretty dress.
So let me get this right. This is, if you want to build your own private cloud and think, oh, well, it's okay because I've just got some virtualization, a couple of billing, a couple of interesting provisioning engines.
Yeah.
I should be okay, but you're coming with a big warning, right?
Yeah, it's expensive and complicated.
And you only see that later.
The CEOs and the CIOs who've invested up front now are seeing, hang on, was maybe not the best scenario.
Okay, so that's fascinating. So why is public cloud different? But surely I have to do the same thing on public cloud is, I bet, what a lot of you guys are saying right now.
So the major difference, the fundamental differences are pay for what you use. And I think that's key. You build upon a per minute, per second. If you shut that VM down, you're not being billed anymore.
So everything's been done for you. You
Exactly.
just now need to fire up the infrastructure you need, right?
That's it. And when you don't need it, just as easily. That's what's important. You know, it's run your workloads. You know, for dev, test, QA, DR, run it, get what you want out of it, and shut it down. You don't have to have infrastructure which is pretty much sitting idle for most of the year, which you've been financing, and all the IT staff and the experts that you need to look after the infrastructure. That is taken away when you look at a hyperscale cloud environment. All that you need to do is let your guys do what they do best, let the coders code. Don't worry about all the heavy maintenance of networking, infrastructure, servers, patching, that's a huge effort.
I mean, I look at banks, they have 5 to 6,000 people running that at the moment.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, the people who've got it right are Azure, Amazon, and Google.
Yes.
Right?
To name the top.
The top guys. There are a lot of other players in there, but they're still smaller and they're growing. But I mean, I look at Google, I'm always impressed by this figure. 1 billion users on their platforms.
Absolutely.
How many of you have more than 1 million users? And here they're giving these kind of platforms to you guys on a per second, per minute,
Per second, per minute basis.
Okay.
Exactly.
The big question of the day. Why on earth are CIOs and CTOs even looking elsewhere?
2 things: comfort zone, and probably, you know, not wanting to change. And the other one is where they're going for their information. They're going to their partners. They're going to their trusted community, and these guys are giving them advice.
Years, right?
Exactly. And what do these guys want to sell them? They want to sell them more infrastructure,
Because
more
they're sitting
services.
there with their own cloud systems that
Absolutely.
they've got offload, and I guess that cost. They end up billing on a monthly basis,
Absolutely.
right?
No, so that's another big thing, which
Is that another
we'll go into a little bit more detail, specifically around the pay-as-you-go issues and the way the cloud vendors are doing it. But yeah, that is an issue.
So, if you're a CIO and CTO, watch out, guys. Chris Hagner's here.
I am.
So, guys, thank you very much. Chris, that was a wonderful session. Until next time.
Thank you, Brett.
WTF.
See you later.
See you later.
Ciao.